device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
It's time for game night, getting you ready for Sacramento Kings basketball.
He's got the bucket!
Game night is presented by Power Business Technology, your locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or visit them at powercopiers.com. Here's your host, Scott Marsh, alongside the high flyer, Henry Turner.
And welcome into game night. Jason Ross filling in for Scott Marsh, who is traveling today with UC Davis football. They got a big game tomorrow in Bozeman, Montana against Montana State. So I'm here with the high flyer, Henry Turner, here on game night. What's up, HT?
Jason Ross, what's going on, my man?
A little 5-game roadie here for the Kings.
Yes.
After a 5-game homestand that wasn't too productive.
You know, like I said, I always try to find a silver lining.
Ooh, you have one?
It might not be silver. It might be like,
some off-color.
Aluminum.
Something cheaper.
Some bronze.
Yeah.
For the past couple of seasons, the Kings have been able to play well on the road.
Mm-hmm.
They've been able to go out on the road and find themselves and play some good basketball. So, I'm hoping this road trip is going to be exactly one of those, Jason, to where this basketball team finds itself. They figure out how they want to play.
Yeah.
They figure out, some things on the defensive side and start playing some good basketball again.
Yeah, they need to feel good. They don't need to rip off, 5 wins in a row, even though they would take it, just to stop the bleeding. And I think, if we look back, Henry, at this homestand, it started with a nice win over the Warriors. The problem to me about the other 4, with the exception of Denver, they were really – it was rough. I mean, they were blown out without chances to win. So I personally believe the team is more competitive than that. And to me, tonight is about – because we were doing the postgame the other night, and Doug went in, and coaches can do that. To me, it's always what's the next game? What do they look like in the next game? They don't have to win, but do they respond to what their head coach said?
It's always a gut check, Jason, and I've been in those locker rooms, man. I've been in a part of those things to where, your coach comes in, he digs into you real deep, and then, your attention to detail is just heightened just a little bit.
Yeah.
You want to go out, you want to show the coach that, okay, we heard what you said, and let's try to make this basketball team better.
Yeah, and I feel like, there was a lot of messages in what Doug said. And look, I think you and I, the years we've known Doug, he's still new at this as far as being the head coach, but he's such a competitor, and it's different. Look, he's not the only player that played in the NBA that becomes a coach, but when one of his areas of specialty, playing defense, is the weakness of the team, that's got to be difficult for someone who could do it and is watching players that aren't doing it.
It is, Jason, and I'll take it a step further. It has to be gut-punching to be a player that did do it, that enjoyed doing it, and knew what it took to do it.
And what a difference it made.
Right. One of those things to where you really understood that if I don't do this, we might not be successful. Mm-hmm. So, I'm really dig deep into myself and say, okay, I might even sacrifice a little bit of my game to do something different than what I like to do because the team needs me to do it.
Yeah, what's interesting, too, and a lot of people have said this, and I think they're right. I mean, when you look at the roster in general for the Kings, we don't see a lot of great defensive players. But I wonder if you can become one, because I still remember, working with Doug or had Doug coming through. Like, he was like any of you that get to the NBA. Usually you're there for your gifts on offense. Doug was a good offensive player in college, a great offensive player, because I wasn't really known as a defensive player, and he turned that. He had said, like, he was with the Knicks, he wasn't playing, he had been with Seattle, the Lakers. Pat Riley's like, the only way you're getting on this floor is if you can defend, and it's like his career turned. So he changed it. He had some abilities, obviously, to do it, but I feel like, do so many people just focus on offense growing up that a lot of times we don't see a lot of great defenders out there?
You really do, Jason. You really the focus is always, first thing you start talking about when you start talking about playing basketball, what do you think? You want to grab a ball and you want to shoot.
Yeah, put it in the hoop.
This is basketball.
Yeah.
But you have to understand it's two sides of the game.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't concentrate on defense. I blame a lot of this on AAU. because, AAU really don't teach kids how to play defense. It's to get a bunch of freaks and let them run up and down and try to score, and win a bunch of ball games. But, when you go to a good organization in high school, they start implementing some of that defensive principles. And then when you go to college is one. College is definitely different to where, I think about my day when I came out, and kind of like Doug, when you first start making it, you have a good talent to score the basketball. Everybody pretty much that goes to college, you have a talent to score.
Yeah.
You put the ball in the basket. So, college really changes your game as far as, you're not one-sided no more. And then really back when I came into the NBA, you had to be able to defend.
Right.
If you couldn't defend, you were not on that floor.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s and the 90s, it was no one-dimensional guy. All you can do is stand in that corner and shoot a three-point shot. No. You had to defend, because if you didn't, you got exposed.
Yeah. And the other thing, too, I think that's happened slowly, from when you were playing to shortly thereafter to where it is now. I mean, the NBA schedule is roughly the same. There's back-to-backs. There's 3 and 4. But I felt like you guys practiced more as a team. Is that true? Like, look, if you played 3 and 4, they're going to get a day off. But, there's a handful of practices during the season.
Yeah, we did practice more. And then, Jason, once again, we policed ourselves a lot. Because if we're playing, defense or whatever, and you're study getting cooked by your man, yes, we would help, but help is exactly what it is. It's not let your man blow past you and I rotate over and take your guy. It was some nights we was like, hey, everybody stay home. You stay on your man. And if your man start cooking you, you're the one that's coming out and going to get replaced by somebody else.
Right. Because we know where the problem is.
Right. And it was certain nights to where we understood certain guys needed help.
Yeah.
And so we would rotate over and do little gimmicky things to help out. I remember one night we actually had a shoot around.
Okay.
We're playing Houston, right? And of course, back in them days, Dream is the guy. Akeem Olajuwon. 9.5 times out of 10, you got to double team this dude.
Right.
On the pass. I mean, don't even let him catch it. You got to double team on the pass.
And who's getting him that night? OP?
OP.
Okay.
But this particular instance, OP is inside his feelings. Because Saint said, we're going to read the Dream on pass.
Which is what, double?
Double team. Yeah. We're going to read the Dream on pass. OP was like, what? Y'all going to read it? Well, he ain't even scored a bucket yet. Let me go and guard him one-on-one. And Saint was like, are you sure, OP? He's like, yeah. Let me see if I can guard him one-on-one. And I understood the sentiment. Yeah. Because that's exactly the way I am. Don't give me help until I need help.
Yeah, and that's a good player listening to a coach,
right.
Or a coach listening to a player.
Right.
Excuse me.
Well, the game started, and the first quarter, Olajuwon had 16 quick points. Saint had to call the timeout.
Hey, OP, how you doing over there?
And looked at him and said, can we double team him now, OP? But, it was one of those things to where if you can't guard your guy,
right,
that's the guy that needs to be up out of there, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
If you can't guard this guy tonight, maybe tonight ain't your night.
Right. And as you said that about AAU, I think there's truth to that. I also wonder, just as time has gone by, there was a time where we saw players go from high school to pros. Now it might be 1 year and done. Or even the other thing that's happening in college, Henry, is so let's say you're coming in, you're a hot shot from Oakland. I'm a coach. Well, you went to Fullerton. So I'm a coach at Fullerton. I get you now on an NIL. Mm-hmm. So I got Henry here, but now I'm gosh, this guy can score, but I don't like, you're not defending. I need you to play defense. Maybe I take you out of some games to try to make a point. And you're like, well, Syracuse is going to pay me the same amount. I'll go there. That coach will leave me. Like, right. And so does it then become, well, I don't want Henry to leave. Just play.
Of course.
So I think it's layered. That's not what's happening with Sacramento. I just think over time, I think we're seeing some things and habits change.
No doubt, Jason. All of that comes into play. It puts a black eye in the game, And then when you get guys that are extremely talented on the offensive side, it's a part of it too.
Yeah.
To where coaches have to have it's almost like a fail-safe system, a blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it. We all know Steph Curry is not a hell of a defender.
Right.
Never has been. But at certain particular point, the team is like, hey, Steph is guarding this guy tonight. And what they do is they move Steph around. Steph will go not accordingly to who's the point guard, but who's the least amount that's going to score.
Right.
Who's the least active out there. And Steph might go from, let's say, having to guard a point guard like De'Aaron Fox to where he's guarding a small forward or maybe even a power forward that just stands in the corner and tries to stretches. So now Steph becomes the help guy on Wemby.
Yeah.
So it's all type of things you have to do and be very creative when you have that one guy, and it's tough if you got two, but if you got that one guy who really don't stand up defensively, but on the offensive side, he gives it to you.
Yeah, and that's a good example in Steph. He's such a net positive because there's never been a better shooter, and you get so much from him offensively. And if you get some defensively, that's great, but there's too much of a positive for him as an offensive player to keep him off the floor.
It's too much of a positive, Jason. And even when teams get smart, coaches get smart, they say, okay, we're going to go at Steph. Well, you got to figure out who's on your roster that's going to be able to go at Steph. Like I said, you might put Steph on a stretch 4, and all of a sudden he starts trying to post Steph up. Yeah, now we're running the straight red on the pass. We're coming to double team, So you really don't have that player out there getting exposed the way he would get if he was guarding the main guy.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's fun when teams get to the postseason, because now you've done all the film. Now it's locking in on one opponent, not just on a Tuesday that you see and you're gone and you move on to the next city. It's, hey, we got a 7-game series. This is who we're attacking. This is who we're attacking with which player. Like, you can really dig into the details.
And, and that's when the game gets fun, Jason, because it all comes down to who executes the best.
Right.
It gets to be the game within the game because you get to see that coaching duel.
Right.
He's going to make this a change. And when he makes that change, I have to be able to combat that. And I'm going to go to this guy right here. It really becomes a mind game. It's more chess than checkers.
Yeah.
It's more methodical than just that one move that you're going to make.
Yeah, that's why it's interesting to see. You can just tell it when guys come in as rookies, and maybe it's as early as Vegas Summer League or later, that, hey, they're kind of NBA ready, and whether that means offense or defense, or they've been coached well from high school to college. To other guys, you go, well, I see how they got here with their skill, but they're lost in certain things. And just like you don't want them to get to the NBA to teach them. You'd rather them be fully polished and just getting better.
But that's where we're at right now, Jason, in the NBA. We talk about the one and dones. We talk about the guys that go to the prep schools for that 1 year, and then they come out straight to the league. And then once they get to the NBA, we got to develop.
Right.
You're not ready. You're not ready for the league. How many times have we looked at players and say, man, look at his footwork. It's just atrocious.
Right.
He might be able to jump from the free throw line and dunk the basketball.
Yep.
He's an athletic freak. He's 6'9" with a wingspan of a 747. Yeah, he's tailor-made for basketball. But, man, he cannot shoot this ball to save his life.
Yeah.
He has no low post moves at all. His defensive stance is nowhere to be in sight. That's that one and done player that we get into the NBA nowadays.
Yeah, I love stories of what you hear. Like a lot of this is people like that already have the amazing skill, like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Kobe used to tell amazing stories, Henry, about how he would spend in his summer, like he would break the court up into quadrants, and he's like, I just worked on the lower box right side for 3 months, and you're going, that was the detail he would work on his game to that. And then I move over here. It's like you're working on everything, but he was just isolated on one spot. That's amazing detail.
And Jason, it is a difference. When I first came out into the league, I got there strictly on athleticism because I was just an athletic freak. I could score.
All right.
No problem, but I can do anything out there on the floor. And I was kind of like Doug, to where when you get to the league, bro, everybody is good.
Yeah, you're not the only one.
Okay, what are you going to bring to this team that will solidify your spot? Well, defense became my calling card also, because I was able to guard a point guard. Sometimes I would guard Kevin Johnson because our guard wasn't fast. Bobby Hurley wasn't fast enough. Sometimes I would guard Magic Johnson Spud wasn't tall enough to guard Magic,
Yeah.
so I had to guard him. So that really kept me in the NBA and kept me on a roster. But, in my mind, though, I'm like, man, I'm a scoring machine. I'm Fremont High all-time lead scorer. I'm a scoring machine. But you have to bring something different to the team that they don't have. So that's why when you see a lot of these young players come in and, they think they should be playing and they want to play, but you got some players in front of you. And I'm going to tell you what, it's the attention to detail that really changes whether you're going to be a good basketball player, a great basketball player, an all-star, and from all-star to Hall of Fame, brother, you got to have everything. Everything physically, athletically, and then on top of that, you better have basketball IQ.
Yeah, that
your
mental
IQ,
part.
The IQ takes you from being an all-star to a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. I mean, everybody there has the gifts, but yeah, you're right. There's a lot to it. We're going to talk a little bit more specifically maybe about this, the defense, the struggles, where the Kings are as game night continues. I want to tell you we're brought to you by Power Business Technology. Experience how the power of family can help your business office equipment needs today. Contact them at 844-POWER-BZ or go to powercopiers.com. All right, Henry and I are back with more. It's the Kings and Minnesota tonight to start this 5-game road trip for Sacramento. More game night straight ahead here on Sactown Sports.
Domantas Sabonis plays here.
He finds Sabonis, put the frosting on the cake, put the cherry on the sundae. Sabonis with a two-hand flush makes it 114-106.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy plates, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Constipation with belly pain that keeps coming back and back and back. If your symptoms keep coming back, talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C. Linzess could help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Hi, this is Henry Turner, aka the High Flyer. I've done a lot of amazing things on the basketball floor, but now it's your turn to be amazing. For more than 55 years, Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento has helped out the youth beat many odds. Too many littles, especially boys, are still waiting for volunteers, Big Brothers. Volunteers to spend at least 4 to 6 hours a month with local youth who needs guidance and support. So donate your time to Big Brothers and Big Sisters of the greater Sacramento area. Get involved. It's easy as a layup. Call 916-646-9300.
All right, game night rolling along. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh. The High Flyer Henry Turner is here. We'll also be here, of course, coming up at 4:30 for the pregame show for Kings and T-Wolves. We'll be joined by the G-Man as Big Brothers and Big Sisters of Sacramento are looking for volunteer mentors for just a few hours a month. You can impact the life of a child. Call 916-646-9300 or visit bbbs-sac.org to learn more. Henry, before we move on here, we had a texter kind of talking about our last segment here where there's, Michael talking about MJ would analyze his film after each season and identify his greatest weakness. How much did you or others, you guys watch game film, but a lot of times it's game film to see what Team X is doing. Mm-hmm. How much did you self-analyze your own game to game or season to season, week to week, did you?
Yeah, definitely analyzed your own game. Nothing like today's game. To where, these guys got so much at their fingertips now.
iPads on the bench
to where they break down exactly where you score the most, your moves, where you're getting stopped, where you're stumbling. They have so much more technology than what we had. Our game was like this, and it was plain and simple. If I had a go-to move, let's say I catch on the wing, and I like to face up, and I like to break you down, and I go right. Okay? Yeah, that's my main thing. Go right, go to the basket. I'm successful at that. So next year, I know you're going to bring something different. So now I fake right and I go left, and I'll be able to get to the basket and score. Successful with that. Now the next year, catch it. I look left, look right. I might go right, but I stop, crossover, and come back and pull up the jump shot. Mm-hmm. You always had to have that one more alternative move to be able to beat your guy, because they didn't study those moves. Okay, we know he likes to go right, so we're going to cut him off right. We're going to send him left.
Yeah.
Okay, we know he likes to go left, so we're going to cut him off left and bring help from the right. So you always have to be one step ahead.
Yeah, what's great is when you're that good, I'm thinking of a couple of past Kings and even current King, that it took us, 3 games to figure out. DeMar DeRozan basically gets to 4 spots.
Yep.
If he gets to those 4 spots,
it's over.
He's going to score for the most part.
Yes.
And so you know it. I know it. I'm not guarding him. It's like, keep him away from there. It's tough to do. He still gets there. He had that. It was in Dallas, I remember last year. He had the game where he got right to the spot.
Right to the spot.
And there were 2 guys, split the double team, got to that spot, scored. You're like, this is where he wants to go.
And and when you watch, if you ever watch DeMar DeRozan work out, he's going to kill those 4 spots. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be able to go right, left, spin, and step back on each way.
Yeah.
I used to teach my son, and my son wanted to be a point guard, so we used to do the Russell Westbrook drill.
Which is?
Top of the key, one dribble to the free throw line, pull up.
Okay.
Remember when OKC?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And then it would be catch it, go left to the free throw line, pull up. And then when you add it, it was catch it, go to the elbow, cross over, get to the middle with your left hand, and then pull up. Everything was in that short, medium range. And then, we had the Jamal Crawford. You come down on the dribble. You stop at the top of the key. It's between the leg, behind the back, to the jump shot. Come down again, between the leg, behind the other back, to the corner, jump shot. You have to be able to go both sides and always have a part A, and you always have to have that part B.
Yeah, and then one I was going to reference, not long ago, but 10 years ago maybe now. Gosh, maybe Zebo, Zach Randolph was here and made his career in Portland and Memphis, but left. Everybody knew it. He went there and
Not a lot of people would stop him.
Jason, I played against one of the best left-handers. Well, I could say two now. Two of the best left-handers I ever had to play against, and their games were pretty much the same. They were different people, but the games were pretty much the same. Chris Mullin was number one.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I don't care where Chris was. If Chris caught that ball and squared up and got it off, 8 times out of 10 was going in.
Yeah.
And then Walter Berry, Syracuse.
Yeah.
I used to ask Walt, man, Walt played overseas. I like, Walt, how come you don't never go right? And Walt, Walt one of them slick New York cats. Nah, son. Nah, man. Why I want to go right? Y'all can't stop me from going left.
He had the move, and if you can't stop it, it's
Jason.
Just keep going.
You know what? His shot was a lot like Jokic. The first guy I seen that no matter where he shot the ball, it would hit the rim and go boom, 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 and drop in.
Yeah.
Boom, 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 and drop in.
Yeah.
Every time he shot the ball.
Yeah.
It was never swish.
Right.
Boom, 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 drop in.
Just the softest
touch. Yep.
Well, tonight, Henry, is going to be an interesting one for me to see the Kings because we started the game not just at the beginning, but I want to circle back to this. Doug the other night, very, very vocal, very passionate, very frustrated, all reasonable things to be, and I think you would know this better. Coaches do that a lot, specifically in the locker room and closed doors.
For sure.
I think they pick and choose when they want to say it to the media, and Doug did, and he has every right to say everything he said. But to me, those are all things that can happen. It's always what's next. And I would say that if it's a parent that's trying to get a message to a kid, a boss to an employee, message sent, is it received? How is it received?
Right.
So tonight, that is my biggest watch is what do the Kings look like based on what Doug had said?
No, and I understand that wholeheartedly, Jason, because like I said, I've been in those locker rooms. I'm just now starting to pay attention to the media side of it, and like you said, Doug said what he said, and it was very, very stern. That was to the media, but I can tell you this: I bet you it was about a good 10 times worse. To the players.
Yeah.
Oh, in the locker room for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna let it go in the locker room. And, you put it in the correct content. It's like the old saying, you don't become a parent until it doesn't come apparent until you become a parent, right? So you really don't understand how the lashing that Doug Christie let out is going to be received by the guys.
Yeah.
And how well will it be received for the guys? And do you have the type of guys to where you can tongue lash them,
right,
and they will respond, onto the contrary of having other guys to where you almost have to coddle them to make them respond, because it's definitely a new jack age player to where some old school methods don't work with these young players.
Yeah, and, I think Doug's other point inside that rant basically the other night was, I think he was asked about, it's a team that's got a lot of veterans, but it's got a handful of young guys too. He said, I'm going to text those young guys and reiterate, this is unacceptable. I don't want these habits. And it's not all the veterans doing it, but they were responsible for a lot of this. And so it's just an interesting collection, not only of roster, the way it's configured, veterans and young guys, Doug being new at it's in a really weird spot, and they're off to such a rough start with a brutal schedule. I think it's probably too daunting to think about much more than the old cliche, but just tonight. You don't need to think about the whole road trip.
Oh, no.
You don't need to think about, hey, what's the record going to be at the halfway point? Just kind of lock in on one day and see what you got.
I mean, you know how I get down, Jason. I'm like, I can't take a look 2 games down the road. I mean, not with this game so glaringly in front of me. You're not that good. I've seen basketball teams that be like, okay, this is a win, that's a win. Man, I'm telling you, bro. Hey, y'all be ready, man. Be ready next week because we got to deal with da-da-da-da-da. We're not that good.
Yeah.
We definitely aren't. So, I'm like you. I want to see if the guys bring just a little bit something extra.
Yeah.
Is it going to be at a premium to come out and defend? Is it going to be at a very high level when you're on defense and you're matching up with your guy? When you do have rotations, how do you rotate?
Right.
When you do have to, shoot the gap, or you do have to hit the middle, how hard do you shoot? How hard do you actually let's say just keep your hand up on the pass. I've seen some of our Sacramento Kings have been guilty of closing out on a defensive guy who's a known three-point shooter, and both of their hands are down.
Yeah.
My college coach would flip. Bless his heart, George McCorn, he would roll over in his grave if you closed out on a jump shooter and your hands were below your waist. Yeah. Oh, no, you coming out. I don't care who you are.
Unacceptable.
You coming out.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they respond. We're going to talk more about that, more about this matchup. It is the Kings and the Timberwolves. Again, another reminder, Henry and I are sticking through here on game night, but then at 4:30 we'll have Kings Live pregame with the G-Man as well. But so we have more to discuss here on game night as we continue on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Around here, Maverick is more than a name. It's who we are. My dad climbed power poles for a living, and he taught me to keep homes running when it gets cold. This November, donate 5 canned foods to our holiday food drive and choose a furnace tune-up or an electrical safety check. We'll collect your cans at the appointment and keep your heat comfy and your lights steady. So the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com. Limited November appointments. Some restrictions may apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-838-6767. That's 800-838-6767.
Staples presents an easy holiday.
My holiday list was a mile long.
Fa la 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 boo hoo hoo.
Staples made it easy with big savings on tech gifts.
I'm listening.
And I saved big on custom holiday cards, too. Plus, Staples has UPS shipping in store.
Holy flying reindeer. Shop Staples today for 40% off custom cards, invites, wrapping paper, labels, stamps, and photo gifts.
That was easy.
In-store and online expires 11/15. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Set it free! Welcome to the Running Man.
In the future, one man must run or die. Glenn Powell stars in The Running Man, the IMAX experience, playing at the Esquire IMAX Theater in downtown Sacramento. Get pulled into the madness of the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen as the chaos unfolds. Reserve your seat before the clock runs out at IMAX.com/Sacramento. The Running Man, playing now through November 20th at the Esquire IMAX Theater. Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
With Progressive, renters can save on protection for the things that make your place yours, even things that don't make sense to everyone.
People always wonder why I don't get rid of my guitar since I never play. But it's like, what if I actually end up taking lessons? Sure, I've had it for 8 years, but if I get rid of it, then what will my New Year's resolution be next January?
Exactly. So bundle your renters and auto and save with Progressive and protect the things that make sense to you. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates and other insurers not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms and conditions.
Okay, I have to tell you. I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest. The last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the...
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your...
windshield wipers. eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying. Just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
All right, back here on game night. Jason Ross in for Scott Marsh, the high flyer Henry Turner. Thank you to a caller. We were talking about Walter Berry and Chris Mullin. Both of them.
Both went to St. John's.
So yeah.
My bad. I'm sitting up here watching a highlight from Syracuse.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said Syracuse, but yeah, both of them went to St. John's.
So thank you. We appreciate that.
Yeah, great catch.
That's interesting, though. Two lefties from the same place. They were both Lou Carnesecca, coach there, in the sweater.
But I'm telling you, both of them left-handed, man, they
Lethal.
can shoot that ball, can score.
This is an interesting text as well, Henry. As a player, when you know or you believe you're rebuilding, how can you keep your passion? Let me see it cut off there. This is from Kimberly. How can you keep your passion in the game? That's interesting because, I think if you're – let's just take the example of DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, which I don't think you ever have to question his passion, but
no.
Sabonis, Levine, all very good players on their own, and I'm sure would like to get to an NBA final. Obviously, it doesn't look like that's the case this year with this team, but you're on this year's team. So what's that like when, again, the season's not over, there's no final transcript to this squad, but right now it's not looking very good with an optimistic outlook. How do you go through seasons like that?
Well, and the way she alluded to it is that she said when you're rebuilding.
Yeah.
Most of the time when you rebuild, right, these guys know.
Yeah.
And before you start that rebuilding process, just say, if you just throw it out there and you say, okay, the Kings are going to rebuild. That's where probably the organization, the general managers, and the owners probably get together and say, okay, we need to move Debo, we need to move Sabonis. You start moving your older players because older players really don't want to be on a rebuilding basketball team unless it's a situation to where, like Russ said, okay, you know what, I'm going to come to Sacramento. Well, Russ, you might be on a rebuilding type situation. But most players that are in their tenure that long, they want to be able to play for something. So, once you say we're rebuilding, that's where you see a bunch of the young guys.
Yeah.
A bunch of the guys that's still trying to make their way in the NBA, and they got to bust their butts. They got to show they belong here.
Yeah.
And those are the rebuilding years.
Yeah, and while the veterans are here, they also know that, look, to maximize their value to another team, it's better to have them out on the floor and producing.
Right.
You don't want to have your own value diminished and then maybe less interest from other teams around the league.
And then again, as a player, there's no way, Jason, I could go out on the basketball court and compete and only give it 50%.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Right.
I mean, it's just not in our DNA. When you hear about some players trying to tank and they trying to lose, that's not us. That really isn't us. Now, I understand organizations, they want to do whatever it is they got to do, and the draft picks and all of that, but that's when you start seeing players getting sad.
Right.
Because I'm sorry, if you're a player and once your feet hit that wood, it's only one way you play, and that's all out.
Yeah, well, we'll see how they respond today. We do have to go through Who's on Fire. It's time now for the Firehouse Restaurant. Who's on Fire? You can level up your pregame at the Firehouse for a quick and easy meal with valet parking for just $10. There it is. I'm going to switch it up today.
All right.
With a little Who's on Fire.
Okay.
How about former Sacramento Kings as college head coaches in our region, Mike Bibby, Jim Les, tonight the Causeway of Basketball. Two sharpshooters.
Right.
Jim Les coaching UC Davis against Mike Bibby, now the coach at Sacramento State. They hook up tonight in a game at Davis. That's pretty cool to have two former Kings. Actually, you throw in Doug as the head coach of the team here, but that's amazing to have former Kings coaching the two local colleges.
It is, man. I mean, that's nice. And, it really sets the presence. It gives the game arms,
Yeah.
You have so many different angles you can go at. But it's cool to have both of those guys be able to, lock up and go head to head because they know each other. We all know each other. We're all friends. And, it makes it just that much more special.
Yeah, it was interesting on the morning show today. Dave and I had Jim Les on. We were talking about a little bit about it. And nothing but love for Mike. They are friends, respect. I'm like, where's the rivalry? I want some trash talk. It's like, nah, they're buddies. They're good.
But they're two competitors, though.
Oh, yeah, they want to beat each other.
I mean,
for
they
sure.
are two big-time competitors. So, you're friends off the court.
Yeah.
But when you old school guys, I'm going for your throat when we competing.
Yeah.
No doubt.
And I know you had that back in the day, especially growing up in Oakland, all the people you came across that you played with. Then if you're playing them in a game, it's like, oh yeah, I remember. I mean, you want to go off on them.
Oh, for sure, because you got bragging rights.
Yeah.
I remember when we had to play Seattle and Gary was up there. I'm going at Gary's neck.
Oh, but he's talking all game.
He talking trash, and I know if I don't go at his neck, I got to hear it all summer. The same thing with Brian.
Yeah.
I'm going at your head because if you give me 25, I got to hear it all summer. I ain't going for that.
Not worth it. Not worth it. All right, so that's Who's on Fire. Thank you to Firehouse as we continue with with game night here. So, yeah, Kings and Minnesota, they just played on Sunday. That did not go very well. For a point, it was like, all right, the Kings are in this game. They're hanging around. I remember they were close, and Ant hadn't even scored. I'm like, this one, that's a little scary. But, look, the Kings are doing a good job on him, and then, boom, he won on his own run. Game got a little separation, and then in the second half, Henry, it was just not a game.
And, Jason, I'm definitely not one to look for any type of excuse, man, but they really have had an excuse because the front court just isn't there.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're going up against 2 7-footers, I mean, when you're going up against a guy like Rudy Gobert and you got, some of the other guys, Nas Reed coming in the game, and it's tough, bro, because if you're a smart team, they're going to find that mismatch. And I've noticed that just by watching the Kings play, every team that come down, when they're in the fast break, they got one big man that runs straight to the rim and turn around. Mm-hmm. And 9 times out of 10, he's catching Schroeder by himself. He's catching Malik Monk by himself. And they're throwing that ball in there because all they got to do is turn around and score.
Right. And on that night, I thought Gobert dominated the paint. They got mixtures. Again, this is another team a little bit like Atlanta. You look out there and you're like, is everybody 6'7" and above and long and athletic?
Julius Randle gets to the rack at will.
Yeah. McDaniels is a good two-way player. He's turned into a good scorer. Ant's their best scorer. It's just, gosh, they're loaded.
Right. And then, you got the 2 guards out there, Mike Conley, and I mean, just knocking down jump shots. Whenever they get double-teamed or the Kings make a good rotation, they throw it back out the 3 and those guys knock it down.
Yeah, they hit a bunch of threes that night. I think, let me look back here. 18 made threes by Minnesota. They shot 54%. They scored 144. So this was another game where the Kings defense, 144, they're not winning those games given that point total up.
No, and you're getting killed with points in the paint.
Yes.
They're shooting the ball very well from 3, but when you're getting like 60 and 70 points in the paint, there's no way you're going to win that game.
Yeah, the other thing to watch for tonight, and we'll get more info on this in about 15 minutes when the G-Man joins us for the pregame show, but going into today, we know Keegan's still out. Zach LaVine's off the injured list, so that's good news. I believe he'll go tonight. Malik Monk and Domantas Sabonis still questionable. I commend Sabonis for playing. He's not 100%. You can see him grab the ribs after getting popped by the Joker 2 games ago when they played Denver. He's playing, so you get evaluated, Henry, but he's not all the way there.
But what do you do about that?
I don't know.
What do you do about that?
If your player wants to play and he's that skilled, you got to play him, I guess.
Yeah, but as an organization, too, you really have to take a look at it and say, yeah, I know you want to go. I know you want to go, and we need you.
Yep.
But we need you better than 65%.
True.
We need you better than 70%. Because if that 65, 70% is going to linger on for 2 weeks, well, I'd rather have you out for a week, a whole week.
Get 100.
And then get you 100%.
Yeah,
right.
Get the most you can out of Eubanks and Achua and Reynaud and whoever
else.
Right.
You're going to have to deal with it anyway.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing about Doug's rant the other day, I think besides all the stuff he was asking for of this team, I think he was asked, about the starters, which were the veterans, that group that night that, I think Doug even recited in the plus minus negative, just negative big numbers, and was asked about a change. He's like, we have to look at everything but possibly. And I think they've already changed the lineup a ton because of injury and out of necessity, but that's another thing I want to see if the starting lineup's any different tonight.
And I don't have no problem with that, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Until you find something that's working until you find something that's solidified, you change it. Why am I going to keep throwing out the exact same thing over and over and over? And I know it's not working.
Right.
Change it.
Yeah. Well, that's something we'll watch for today. We'll have one final segment of game night coming your way. Again, it's going to be the Kings and the Timberwolves. We got that final segment ahead. Henry and I are back with more right after this on Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action. And together, helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Smarter clean in half the time. Brought to you by Swiffer Power Mop. Tired of the mop and bucket struggle? The Swiffer Power Mop gives you a mop and bucket clean without all the extra work. It's an all-in-one cleaning tool that mops smarter, not harder. With built-in solution that breaks down dirt and grime. And a pad with over 300 scrubbing strips to absorb and lock sticky messes. It even gets into places a regular mop can't. And leaves your home smelling fresh for hours. Try the Swiffer Power Mop today. Love it or your money back.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Corporate earnings season is nearly wrapped up and the report card looks strong. With more than 90% of S&P 500 companies now reporting, it's shaping up to be an A for corporate America, even in a still uncertain economy. Analysts say that more than 80% of companies beat earnings expectations and over 75% exceeded revenue forecasts. The standout performers this season has been technology, powered by innovation and artificial intelligence. But it's not the only bright spot. Financials, communications, and even utilities have all shown double-digit growth compared to last year. Overall, it's been a season of strength, resilience, and renewed optimism for U.S. companies. So why are we seeing retreats in some vital market sectors? Are markets overbought, or do investors just price in perfection? How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth, member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and/or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Game night is brought to you by Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Check out their full line of vehicles at mbofstockton.com. Jason Roston for Scott Marsh. The high flyer, Henry Turner.
In the building, baby!
Game one of a 5-game road trip. Bouncing around the U.S.
And a hefty road trip at that. You playing some juggernauts, boy. You going up, you talk about walking to the belly of the beast.
Yeah. I do know their road trip, but if I was running, I don't know, somewhere around town, I go, hey, who are the Kings playing tonight? Minnesota, Denver, OKC. I just say one of those three, and I'm probably right. That's all they've been playing.
Oh, that's all.
Yeah.
And
Minnesota, OKC, and Denver are on this road trip, along with the Spurs and Memphis.
And then when you come home?
Oh, there's Minnesota again. Are there more teams in the league than these three?
Right, can we play somebody else's of these guys here?
My goodness. I was telling you in one of the breaks I was looking at, look, it's been rough. It's been a slow start for the Kings beyond belief at 3-9. And just it's really early. Look, 70 games to go, so a lot of things can happen. But OKC has jumped out there and put a number at 12-1. Yeah. Here's the Nuggets, Henry, at 9-2. Spurs doing great things at 8-3. Mm-hmm. Houston 7-3. Lakers 8-4. T-Wolves 7-4. Like, that all sounds really good. Those are all really good teams. And then there's another tier below that. Phoenix has worked themselves to 8-5, winners of 5 in a row.
Okay.
Above 500 in the 8 seed today, for whatever it's worth. Portland 6-5. The Warriors are actually 9th at 7-6. And then Cliff, boom, it drops. The 10th seed right now is Utah, who's 4-8. followed by Memphis at 4-9, Clippers 3-8, Kings 3-9, Dallas 3-9, New Orleans 2-9. The irony of all this is I just think the West, for the moment, is very top-heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that the Kings can even get into that group, but it's actually attainable if they can get some things sorted out.
Well, the one good thing, Jason, like I said, I always try to find something halfway decent, man, because I want this team to be good, is that you're getting a lot of your big-time teams that's that's on that list out the way.
Yeah, it is. They've had literally the toughest schedule.
So, instead of playing the Elite Five, coming up in a little while, you're going to start playing, like you said, some of those that's on that off the ledge
cliff,
to where you could probably pick some games up.
Yeah, and that's what they're going to have to do because literally after this road trip, they will be, if I'm not mistaken, I think that'll be game 3 with OKC. They're done with them. They'll be done with Denver when they come back because that'll be their 3 meetings.
Then they'll be done with Minnesota.
Yeah, they might have one more. I think they might have 4. I can't remember, but still, the point is 3 of the 4 at least, and I might have those numbers reversed. But, yeah, I think 2 of the 3 they're done with, and yeah, there are more games coming up in New Orleans and Dallas, but, the way the Kings are playing right now, Henry, it doesn't matter who they're playing. They're not playing well enough.
Oh, yeah, I know. They don't have enough resistance at the rim to stop any NBA team.
Yeah.
Any NBA team that comes in here that looks at the Sacramento Kings team, they're like, look, we're going to the rim.
Yeah.
Everything is going to be to the rim.
So if I could, get a genie and wish for one thing, and I got one wish, Henry, and I could give them an elite rim protector or an elite perimeter defender, which one helps them more?
Rim protector.
Okay. Easy?
Rim protector, because what that does is, Jason, you get, just say, if you would bring him a tumble here, well, even when you get beat,
he's waiting.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you would just bring one elite defender, well, you got 4 other guys that can break their guys down.
Yeah.
Yes, you're stopping one.
Yeah, maybe
you
one
stopping one guy.
Yeah, stopping the straight line drive.
But it's 4 more guys that's breaking their man down, getting straight to the basket, and you have no rim protector.
Yeah.
I would say bring me a rim protector, and then I'll talk to my guys that's out on the rim, out on the perimeter, and say, hey, you guys got to stay with your man.
Yeah, and I don't. They're going to see one of the greats in their next game. Well, tonight, Rudy Gobert. I can't dismiss him. He's been a great rim protector, a great defensive player in this league. And the next game, Victor Wembanyama's waiting for him.
And it changes your game so much, Jason, when you have a guy down there that could really, pick up from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Because if I know I got a big guy, a big 7-footer down there that's blocking shots, man, I'm in the lane stealing, I'm grabbing, I'm reaching, I'm doing all type of things that I wouldn't normally do if I don't have that help on the backside.
Yeah, well, we're going to see how this one plays out tonight. It's going to be interesting to see the response from the Kings. Another matchup with the Timberwolves. Henry and I have the pregame with the G-Man will join us too. That's all coming up. We got a night of hoops coming your way. Stick with us right here on Sactown Sports.
Hi, this is Adam Warner, co-owner of the historic Firehouse Restaurant in Old Sacramento. We're celebrating 65 years of excellence this season. Come visit us where our motto is guests first. We are locally owned and have been in the capital city since 1960. Come